guys ever watched a really uncomfortable movie with your parent or loved one?
TV show. I can remember a TV show, The OC. I watched that with my mum a fair bit when I was young.
Yeah. Pretty sure when you're a teenager and anything just sexual comes on the television and you're watching it with your parents, it's like, fuck.
Yeah. I'm 24 now, and I thought I'd pass that with my dad. We've been living together for a month, as you guys know. And I decided it would be funny to put on Bruno. You guys have seen Bruno. Have you seen Bruno?
Yeah.
Oh, not in a while. Like, I sort of watched it, but I think I fell asleep last time I watched it, so I'm a bit rusty.
It was the most harrowing experience.
Funny.
I was like, this is 11:30 at night, and I was quite fatigued.
It's hilarious.
It is a great movie. But I remember, because we've been like hanging out for about a month now, me and my old man, doing lots of blokey stuff and hanging out lots, and I thought, you know what, there's no downside to this. We've been watching a lot of fun movies together. Let's put on Bruno. Anyway, from the opening credits, where he's got the bike dildo.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I saw the colour drain from his face, and I think he lasted about 15 minutes to the scene. Do you remember when he goes to the I think Dad lasted to the point where the scene where he goes to the clairvoyant, the medium. Oh. Yeah, and he's trying to connect with the guy from
that scene where it's just like yeah.
So I went upstairs because I got to that scene. I was like, oh, there's no way Dad's getting through this, and so I went upstairs for a shower right at the scene started, and I came back down 5 minutes. Like, it would have been like 10 minutes later, and he was just watching like some Christmas movie. I was like, oh Jesus, he couldn't even last 2 minutes without me.
That scene is so hard to get through.
Yeah, that's probably one of the hardest parts of the movie to get through.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hard to narrow it down to just one scene.
I've actually just remembered a similar story to that as well. This was like when I was real young, when Step Brothers first came out. My mum took me, my sister, and my 2 cousins to see Step Brothers.
Comparatively mild, but sure, go on.
Yeah, but about 15, 20 minutes in, she's just like, I can't sit for all this swearing, so she grabbed my little sister and walked out of the cinema and left me and my cousins there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because she couldn't put up the swearing anymore.
Yeah, fair enough. How old was your sister at the time?
She would have been probably 11, 12.
Yeah.
And she picks up language, so she's probably since picked up those words because of me, let's be honest.
Yeah. I went to the movies to see Borat with my parents.
So
when I was 11 or 12,
yeah.
13 maybe.
Yeah. But 05, I think Borat was. 05?
Yeah. Right. Either way, and I thought that was bad. And Bruno just takes it 10 times worse. I love the balls on Saturday. That's a really bad choice of word. Especially if you've seen Bruno and you see his ball for like 60% of the film. I really admire the set of balls he's got on him. Anyway, won't spoil it for the people who are going to watch it after that glowing review. So, boys.
Yeah, mate.
True Footy Podcast, episode 4.
Oh, I thought we said we weren't going to do that.
We just ruined it by doing that.
Yeah, no, that's weird. Nah. What's happened since we last did the podcast? Feels like a while now.
I think the rookie draft.
The Ashes has started.
Yeah, so quite a bit actually.
Yeah, Big Bash is coming up.
Ashes cricket game.
Yeah, Ashes cricket game, when was the rookie draft this year was a bit weird. They did it like a couple of days after the national draft.
Yeah, it was the first time Monday.
Yeah.
After.
Yeah. There's always a few surprises in the rookie draft, isn't there? I don't think I really predicted any of them coming.
No.
Especially, I think Cranberry was probably the biggest name to get drafted.
Yeah.
And then I think Freo had a couple of picks. You guys got that young Bailey Banfield kid.
Yeah, I like the look of him. He's probably one of the few players I've actually sort of seen a bit of from the rookie draft, in all honesty.
Sexually or on field?
On field.
A few guys missed out, like Schloith, Tom Lamb,
Schlonk, he missed out.
Boakhurst, a few guys we thought were a possibility to get picked up again.
Boakhurst got picked up by Ace Freo, I saw actually.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
They've picked up a fair few ex-AFL players.
Jansen and Boakhurst, is there anyone else?
And they've got a few others, I can't think of.
5 or 6.
Yeah, 6 I think they advertised on their little news press when they announced Boakhurst.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Okay, well, pretty unexciting rookie draft. They're always pretty unexciting. It's pretty rare that a rookie gun comes at that. But, so it really kicked off the end of the footy season, really.
Yeah.
And I gotta admit, I'm already transitioning to the point where I'm thinking more about cricket than footy, and I haven't seen it for a long time.
I'm full NBA, bit of cricket at this point. I'm looking forward to the Big Bash. That's one I always really get into. More so than the national team, in all honesty, I almost get around the Big Bash more.
I'm actually looking forward to the one-day series. Those are my favourites.
I love the one-day series, but I got to agree with Busher, BBL. I love the BBL. It's on every day over summer.
That's the thing. That's the thing with cricket for me. Like, I'm footy 99.9%, but the enticing thing about cricket is it's on all the time.
Yeah.
So the Ashes as well, you know, like if you got a day off and you're like, ooh, what time does cricket start? Like that's, you know, you get really excited about it even though you don't spend all day watching it.
Yeah. Because I'll say Big Bash is a big part of my routine because like over the summer, like I'll do stuff and then literally at like 4 or 5 o'clock I'll just sit down and watch Big Bash. Actually, probably an hour or so before I'll probably look at the game, make a few bets. I do love betting on the Big Bash as well.
Yeah, I've lost a considerable amount of money on the Big Bash.
I've made a bit actually. I've been profitable past 2 years.
I've been flogged by the cash outs.
So what's something you can give the viewers? Can you give the viewers a special treat for tuning in?
Oh, I can't think of any yet, but Scorchers make the finals. I do like because the Scorchers are arguably the most consistent T20 team in any domestic league.
It's never not happened. We've made the finals every season.
Yeah, and we've won 4 out of 6.
And lost one grand final, right?
Yeah.
At least one. Yeah. Well, that's the thing with the Scorchers. We were talking about it off air before. Like, it seems a bit of an imbalance between the strength of the bowling attack and the batting lineup doesn't seem as strong, especially considering they might be missing at least one Marsh, maybe both, for a fair bit of the tournament.
I think last year Sean Marsh came in just at the back end of the season, so just the right time.
Finals.
Obviously, depending how both of them go in the test setup, there's a possibility both of them could be back before the end of the BBL, but there's also a possibility neither could be back.
Yeah, that's true.
That'll be important.
Is it generally, do they kind of design the I never pay attention, the league finals so that most players are available and there aren't clashes, or do I have a feeling that there was a bit of a clash last year and some player missed out?
I can't remember off my head.
Some miss out, usually.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not really in their best interest to schedule the BBL finals right around some ODIs or something.
No, but I mean, there's only so long that they've only got the maybe 4 months or something in Australia to schedule all these international games.
True.
It's one of those ones as well. I don't mind if there's a conflict because it'd be a bit unfair for a team that's played the whole season then just get bolstered by like 4 Australian guys just because they've got a few days off for the finals. It's a bit like
that's
not reflective of how well they went the whole.
Especially like the New South Wales and Vic sides always get boosted big time whenever the internationals can come back.
Yeah, it's like amateur footy, isn't it? Where they drop the players down to the lower leagues to try and win.
I mean, New South Wales just would get back Steve Smith and Davey Warner.
Well, there's the 2 New South Wales teams. There's Sydney Thunder and Sydney Sixers. Don't forget. And sometimes guys don't necessarily play for their state.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Generally,
I think Smith does play for Thunder.
Does he have the Sixers?
No, Sixers,
and Warner's the Thunder.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah. Kawaja's at the Thunder as well, I remember.
Yeah, Kawaja's at the Thunder.
Yeah, because I remember him having a few killer games in the Big Bash.
When did they win? Was it the year before last?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was the year we
and I think they hadn't won a game or something before that.
No, they won a game, but it had been like 700 days or something.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. It was more than 2 years or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
They just because Hussey decided to go over from WA.
Yeah, Mr. Cricket.
Yeah.
Cricket. Funny story. I work with this Indian guy, and I shit you not, Brad Hogg walked into Bunnings, Melville. You see tons of Scorchers there. I see Voges all the time. Shaw Marsh, Hussey's there, and Hoggy walked in, and I don't think he lives near me or near us.
I think I know people that know his daughter. I know that, so I think he's sort of in the area.
So you're basically cousins.
Oh mate, this ain't. Oh, I don't know where to keep over that train of thought.
Cousins is an off limit for him anyway, so...
mate, this ain't Tasmania, mate. This ain't Tasmania, mate. Sort of. Oh yeah, Tasmania do have a team, Hobart. That's right. I was just trying to think randomly off my head. No, they're pretty good.
You pulled that together really well.
Yeah.
So Hoggy walks in, and I work with this Indian guy, obviously, he likes his cricket a bit, and I was like, hey man, be cool, but Hoggy's over there looking at the lawnmowers, and he goes, okay. Hey Brad Hogg, you going to go play some cricket, mate? And I shit you not, he said it like that with the head rattle as well. Sorry if that's a little bit...
What did Hoggy say?
A little bit disrespectful. But he's like, oh yeah, in a couple of weeks' time, mate. This was like a month ago.
Yeah.
And he literally went off and helped Hoggy with his lawnmower for like an hour.
Oh, nice.
Good customer service, so if you're ever around Bunnings Melville, stop by.
And the funny thing is, he wasn't even Indian, was he?
What, the guy I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, was that not a good South African accent? Yeah, anyway. So, what else have we been doing in the time off?
Oh, I've been doing bugger all, in all honesty.
Yeah.
I've been chillaxing, working a little bit. Yeah, nothing too serious.
Yeah.
Playing a lot of RuneScape, actually. Funny story today, I was actually on RuneScape. We were in like the Grand Exchange, which is like the main players. I was in an Aussie world. Everyone was just talking shit about like footy, cricket, all sorts of stuff. Well, actually, it was a pretty good time.
Nice.
That's not a funny story.
Well, yeah, I thought it was
On
pretty funny. A bunch of random nerds on RuneScape. No offense,
okay.
Rooney. So I play RuneScape. I'm probably there for a nerd as well.
Well, I was playing video games today and I had a good time, so yeah, funny story.
Well, it's a wholesome story. It's wholesome.
That was wholesome as fuck.
If you saw the conversations, it wasn't as wholesome. Like, because the Aussies on RuneScape, they just talk so much shit. They just talk about doing drugs, swearing, all sorts of shit like that.
Yeah.
You can tell it's an Aussie world the way they talk. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I've
Few
literally
F-bombs.
never touched RuneScape in my life. I must have been one of the only kids my age who didn't play it. Did you play it?
I did a little bit when I was a kid, yeah.
I was friends with a Filipino kid in junior high, and he introduced me to the really Asian anime version of RuneScape, which is called Maple Story.
I've heard of that.
It's extremely Japanese, and it was really fun. I was a wizard.
Yeah.
I was more of a bubble trouble kind of guy.
Oh, I thought you were Club Penguin, Joycey. I would
Club
think you was a
Penguin.
Club Penguin.
I did play a bit of Club Penguin.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's one I never touched.
Also,
mini clip. I did love my mini clip.
A little bit
Miniclip's
of-
cool. I'm pretty sure Club Penguin is like pedo central.
I got to admit, I played a little bit of Neopets as well for a
What's that?
couple of days there. Neopets, ever?
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Isn't that like the little Tamagotchi type
Yeah,
thing?
it's a little like Pokemon
right.
sort of
Yeah, I never did that.
thing.
Yeah, it was a bit cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you were a cool kid.
Yeah.
So I've been told.
Yeah, the Maple Story thing
Yeah.
kind of contradicts that. But
Yeah. And some of the stuff, some of your earlier work I've seen, probably a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
That's really
Secret
sounds
Panda
really
elf.
ominous.
What was it?
Hey? Oh,
Panda.
you know what? Let's move on.
Move on subject. Yeah, I was pretty cool as a kid.
Yeah. You know what? I was like 16, so shut up.
I was 21 then, so
Yeah,
get over
I
it.
wasn't a kid, so grow up.
So, I know what you've been up to a lot lately. You've been on the PlayStation lately.
I have.
So what have you been playing on there?
I've been playing Ashes cricket, which is, I have to say, probably easily the best cricket game out so far.
Yeah, well, we've all played it now, so...
Yeah, I've played it for the first time about an hour before we started shooting.
Hit a few stanky boundaries.
Yeah, I couldn't bowl
Did-
for shit, but I wasn't too bad at the bat towards the
Yeah,
end.
you got a few wickets.
Yeah,
But,
So,
I appreciate that, thank you.
no, it is a hard game. So yeah, we got that. I picked that up a couple of weeks ago. I do the old JB. I always buy from JB Hi-Fi because they got the. Sorry, not JB Hi-Fi. They go to
eBay
because they got the 7-day policy.
I love
I
it.
do the same thing with AFL games because AFL games are shit house. 7-day policy, you can return it without a reason, basically, as long as you got receipt.
I exploit that all the time.
Yeah, and they price match. So if you just, I sound like a fucking advertisement, but I do that on purpose.
They're our
'cause you
sponsor
can
tonight,
return
eBay
it.
Games.
I've returned that many games to EB because they're just shit, including AFL Evolution.
because the games are shit, not EB.
No, yeah, take that, dickheads. Just take the.
Although everyone knows JB Hi-Fi the best, but have you ever walked past an EB Games and there isn't a massive amount of signs at the front saying sale on now?
Yeah,
I swear they just
yeah,
keep them up
permanently.
permanently.
Why do you say JB's the best? Just in general.
Just
it's
cheapest
store.
prices, yeah.
Yeah, true. But the returns policy is like.
Yeah.
No, but they do allow you to trade in any game, even if it's like 4 years old. Like
That's not too bad.
the other day, I traded in like 3 games. They got like $50 off and managed to
really?
pick up Assassin's Creed for like $15.
Oh,
Spicy.
okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, do EB not do the same thing?
They do, but they give you fuck all.
Yeah,
for
they
it.
jip you on trade-ins eBay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough.
I traded in like 20 games and got like $40 or something one time. They were all old games and stuff, but still.
Well, don't forget EB have an absolutely meaningless membership system, which
Why's
has
that?
it going for it. Hey?
Why is that?
Oh, because I work with somebody who used to work at eBay. You scan your card, nothing happens.
Really?
Oh no, not nothing literally, but I'm sure you accrue some sort of
Yeah,
points.
so I've heard story of you boys all know Das. A friend of Das's, Rory. I've heard a story. He's like level 5 of like some real hectic level in EB games, so he gets like all sorts of exclusives and stuff.
Oh, okay,
because he's bought that much stuff in there. He's like real high level member.
Yeah, fair enough. I think it was more like you have to spend a shitload to get anything. I don't know. It might get good.
Yeah, I don't spend enough there to find out. I'll be realistic.
But moral of the story is, I bought it so I could return it, and did not even consider returning it once. That's how good it is, because I return a lot of games. I have to say, mad props to Big Ant Studios. They're the ones who... Did you guys play AFL Live 1? Yeah. As in, it came out like 2011. They sort of rebooted the AFL series.
Yeah, the first one, yeah.
Yeah, that was, in my opinion, still the best AFL game. And then they, for some reason, lost the rights to...
Wicked Witch, isn't it?
Yeah, Wicked Witch got the... they were making the Wii game. And then they took over the console games as well. And I believe Big Ant wanted to keep making the AFL game, but...
AFL, yeah.
It would have helped a bit of stability in the producer, so they can realise what they've done wrong and improve.
Yeah, that's it. It's really about releasing like a succession of games in a row to get that improvement and get audience feedback.
Yeah,
that's true.
EA and 2K have killed it with that. Even though they've got a lot bigger budgets, obviously, because soccer and basketball, etc., are a lot more popular.
Yeah. That's it. Like with FIFA and NBA, as you're saying, like you can just, if you keep rolling it on, you obviously keep the same game engine. You can spend all your resources just adding to it rather than building it from scratch. And the thing is with Big Ant as well, they also have Rugby League Live, which I believe does pretty well, and that's up to its 4th version now, which is pretty damn good. Yeah. The cricket game is very good. And
I thought
that's
cricket would be a more viable internationally type one with a bigger budget, because England, India, a lot of big countries love their cricket.
Yeah, I do know the Big Ant version was being released in England as well.
The cricket.
Yeah, they were considering changing the name for the England release.
Actually, should still be valid.
Changing, the cover art.
Okay.
Because is it Steve Smith at the moment?
Let's have a quick look. What is it? No, that's... Oh, yeah. Is that Steve Smith and... it's got a chick on it. I mean, that's great.
Yeah, anyway, they were considering changing it to, and obviously English characters, but I read apparently they decided to go with Smith, who's the number one batsman in the world.
Better than anyone the Poms have to throw against us.
I don't mean to be disrespectful to women. I really don't. But... I'm not. Now that I've said that, I obviously automatically seem like I am. I'm kind of annoyed by the whole PR stitch up of this. Like, they're just kind of forcing the whole equality thing a bit much. I guess there's no downside to having them on the bloody game, but you know what I mean. Just feels like forced. Like, who's going to play it?
Yeah.
You even see it with the Big Bash bit. Like, they've really given the women's Big Bash a big sort of...
Yeah, well,
it's the only sport women's sport I've seen consistently televised and well broadcast. They've done a great job.
Oh, no, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm talking specifically
Yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm saying it's a good thing also.
It is cool. My point is just on the video game, like, I feel like they're milking it a bit, and I honestly, I don't know how many female gamers will play cricket. Do you reckon? I don't know.
Yeah, because I'm not too sure, because I know there are a lot of female gamers these days. There's some that plays, I think some play, I wouldn't know. I don't profess to be an expert on gaming. I'll be
Especially women's gaming.
They're all licensed as well, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But, I'd be interested to see the stats of how many times the women's Ashes gets played on the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, what are the standout things about this game? Just to give us a quick summary. What are the standout positives of Ashes cricket?
Standout positives. The fact that it's licensed, that's a good starting point. They're licensed Australia and England.
Yeah.
Okay. So the likenesses and the batting styles are all in mocap. So Steve Smith actually bats like Steve Smith.
And his name's actually Steve Smith as well.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. Yeah. All the other players, they do have tons of teams. Yeah. Which I'll touch on a bit later as well. But they... you can play as any country and stuff, but they're all like unlicensed, so they have ridiculous names. The best part about it, and this is not new to this game, but this is something Big Ant generally do, is they have a community where you can upload your edited players, and everyone can just press a button to download the highest rated ones. And within like minutes, you have all the licensed players. So
Yep.
that's a really good way of getting around it.
That's a big thing in 2K, NBA 2K as well, actually, like more so for the draft classes, like because they don't
really
have the
cool.
draftee players, so you can download the draft. So when you're playing general manager mode, when it comes to draft time, you can download a roster with the actual players who are in the draft.
Can you retake the draft and pick?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's sick.
Yeah, so you can like go back before the season started,
man.
hypothetically, and take Lonzo Ball, pick one if you're feeling a bit crazy.
That's cool. If they did that for AFL, it'd be sick to just retrospectively go back to 2008 and just, you know,
Redraft.
not pick Chris Marston. No, that was 07, sorry. Nah. But it would be cool.
Like if you're
Oh, you can't go back that fast, like only the...
Yeah, I know, I understand that, so I was just kind of on a tangent. That is a really cool feature though. But yeah, anyway, generally it's really hard to pinpoint one really impressive part of the game, other than the customizability, for lack of a better word. But I think visually it's really good. You know what I mean? Like, I think batting and bowling is really fun on it. Especially bowling, like you and I had a multiplayer game on it. Do you remember how much the ball was seaming? It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And swinging, and that makes it fun as a bowler when you can actually like try and beat the bat really well.
Yeah.
That's like, to a cricket purist, that's...
So what about standout negatives then? Any standout negatives?
I
I guess obviously the fact that it doesn't come licensed is a negative.
They've overcome that though. I would say satisfactorily. They've done as much as they can without blowing their budget. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But I guess it is a negative because if you play offline, which I did up until recently, because I used to play with capped internet and I didn't want to use it all.
You have to edit it yourself.
Yeah, you do, and it's ridiculous. Even the team kits don't even say the country name on it. It just says censored.
The censored problem.
Yeah. The game, Bush, you downloaded it before it got patched, was a bit of a joke.
Okay, yeah, because that's the one I
shit.
played.
Yeah.
I didn't want to muck around with my internet. It would have taken hours to download the update.
I mean, it's harsh, but it was error ridden, and then the patched version, which we downloaded later, was quite good.
Yeah.
Standout negatives. The commentary is pretty appalling, but then again, like, I play a lot of games muted with listening to this podcast, and I just kind of chill out and don't listen to it, but it is really bad.
Yeah. Some of the menu options I found were quite complicated in that it's not a super simple in terms of just set it all up.
Yeah.
It's a hard game to just turn it on for the first time and go and play and not have any problems. You kind of you really have to tweak it to your personal, which is good because you can customize it, but also it does make it a little bit more complicated than other games like FIFA or something.
Yeah. Even today when you and me were just trying to have a play so I could have a bit of a playthrough so I'd be somewhat informed when we did this review.
Yeah.
We had to muck around a fair bit to find the camera settings that we wanted, stuff like that.
Yeah, so you got to find the camera settings, then you have to maybe invert the batsman depending on how you want to use the batsman. So it can be
behind him or
I think changing the field is not quite as good as it was in previous. The previous cricket, the Don Bradman one, had just like a rotation system, so you could really easily just flick along with your controller. Now you have to actually go into like the start menu and press something, so it kind of makes it a lot more stagnant.
Yeah, that's a really understated aspect. I think a lot of casual gamers probably won't realise how important it is to them, even themselves. The ability to just navigate through the game really quickly through menus, and the fielding, as you say, is really tricky. Yeah, I think in Don Bradman 14, which is the one you and I played a bit of, you could just flick you through the field, as you say, to actually open it up, change the field one by one. It's annoying for the other person if you're playing multiplayer and, change your bowler.
Personally, as well, I actually found the fielding itself sometimes a little bit annoying. It just in the fact that it's quite complicated. So you have to press a button to pick the ball up fast and throw the ball, and then you have to choose which end. Then you have to press a button to gather and stump it with the person at that particular end. And there's another button to relay throw where you throw it to another fielder, which I think is kind of pointless.
Yeah, I don't
that caught me up a bit when we were playing.
But I think the fact that you can choose which end obviously is really cool, but maybe they could have simplified that a little bit more.
I think it's probably gotten worse since the 14 one.
Yeah.
As in they tweaked it and it didn't make it better.
Yeah. But apart from that, I mean, the batting and the bowling is really exceptional. And when you get those camera angles right, we found it to be really good and easy to use and fun. It's just a matter of tweaking with it a bit.
The batting looks good. I just thought of one flaw in the game that really shit me, and I don't know if it's just me doing it wrong, but if you play against a spinner, right, and you play a front foot shot, if you miss the ball, your batsman always steps out of his crease. It's really annoying.
Oh, really?
Yes, because it happened to me once when I was dominating a game, and I got stumped like 4 times in 2 overs.
Yeah.
But just because I was missing a ball, and there's no, as far as I'm aware, there's no button to get back in your crease.
So there's no like put your leg back in.
No, it's almost like a baseball. It's like 1 strike, you're out, because if you miss the ball, you're stumped. So to counter that, I've been trying to hit every ball.
Yeah.
But you can actually move your batsman to bat really far back in his crease. That's the only way I've been able to beat it. So I don't know if that needs to be patched, because it kind of ruined like a couple of
smacking Joycey's spinners for boundaries before.
In terms of batting, it definitely it massively rewards shot selection. Mm-hmm. So even if you're perfectly timing and have perfect footwork, if you're not placing the ball in the right spot, your player will miss it every time.
Yeah.
So because of that, if there's a ball coming like at your body or offside, it's really hard to like step across the ball and play it to the leg side or whatever.
Yeah.
So you really just have to, I suppose, choose your shot selection exactly on where the ball is placed.
Yeah, exactly. I think with this game, like all cricket games I've played so far, you sort of learn what shots the game likes you to play and which ones it doesn't.
Yeah, that's so true.
And there's a few particular ones, for me, it was anything behind square on the offside. So if you're trying to hit it over slips third man, I edge it every single ball, even when it says ideal everything.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's just me doing it poorly, but I've been caught every time. The other one is any straight ball is really hard to whip through the square, which I guess kind of makes sense. It's a hard shot to pull off if you're playing across your pads, but I just get clean bowled every time.
I mean, it should be the sort of thing, if you're timing it perfectly, he should still get a bat on it.
Which I have been, and it's so basically it just means that I've cut that shot out of my gameplay, and I just play an on drive instead.
I mean, if you think of real life Steve Smith, that's just like a signature everyday shot for him because he times the ball so well.
Yeah. Whereas Ricky Ponting would get hit in the pads every time we played that shot. So that would be realistic. But no, I've had some really good games with it. At the moment, I'm playing a World Cup, which is, I think, in cricket, so that's my favourite thing to do, the World Cup. And I've taken up Ireland, and it's quite hard. I'm playing against the computer, obviously, and the computer's really good at learning what you're doing and counteracting it.
Oh, okay.
And what I mean, but like, so if I've been hitting a lot of balls through mid-wicket, it'll start placing every ball wide outside off stump.
Yeah.
And then it'll put its field towards that, so they'll.
So it's quite intuitive. That's
it is, yeah. I mean, I think every game tries to be like that, but this is the first game where I really have to think to outsmart the AI, as they call it.
That's a cool element to the game, I'd say.
Yeah, that's definitely something that you want.
Yeah. I mean, it'll still do dumb shit, like, cramp in my hammy. Like, I just kept hitting a 4 through the same area once and it didn't pick up on it, but I'd say it's better than any other cricket game I've played for in that respect.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I did like it, and the last cricket game I ever played was back in like Blockbuster video days when I'd walk to Blockbuster and rent it type thing for the PlayStation 2.
Man.
It's been a while since those days.
I think the last really good cricket game was Cricket 07. That was the last one EA made.
Yeah, the ones I played were like EA and license and stuff on the PS2.
Yeah, Cricket 07 and Ricky Ponting Cricket were 2 games I absolutely loved.
Oh, yeah. Ricky Ponting Cricket, that was 03, and they had an 07 one, didn't they?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. They were both pretty good. But bowling was shit on all of them. This is the first time I've really enjoyed bowling, in my opinion. Yeah,
the bowling mechanics seem pretty, once you get used to them, obviously, they'd be pretty cool.
EA was, even, I don't know, it was 10 years ago, but it was like bowling to a brick wall. You'd never beat the bat. Like, I feel like as a bowler, it's really important for it to be fun, for you to be swinging the ball past the edge. That's the best part.
Because even with those old school games, you pretty much just had that little thing, you'd put it where you wanted it on the sort of thing, and it just...
I feel like it's kind of better it avoids that though, because I think that's a massive batting advantage if you know exactly where the ball's going to be placed.
Yeah. Like even the stick cricket games that show you when you can see where the ball's going to bounce, you just like smack it every time.
Well, this is the first game that, Big Ants games are the first game that have no bowling pitcher, so you can't see where the ball's pitching.
Yeah.
And that has completely changed it. I remember when they were talking about releasing that game, and they were talking about how you wouldn't have a bowling pitcher, and I was just like, how the hell are you going to do that? The trade-off with that is that it does give away certain cues to the batsman. And what I mean by that is, as you're running in, the ball will change to the colour. It's colour-coded, so like a red ball will be a short ball. If it turns red, it'll be a short delivery. If it's blue, you know it's going to be a Yorker. You don't know the line of it, but you can at least whether to play forward or back, which is good. But it kind of goes away from Big Ants kind of thing where they said they want as little visual cues as possible. They want it to kind of look like broadcast, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the other thing is on multiplayer when you're, how you guys are just playing each other and you were choosing whether to bowl an away swinger or an in swinger.
Yeah.
That would, you could see which direction the person put. So you know which ball the bowl's going to bowl, which kind of is a bit of a downside now I think about it.
Multiplayer, when you're playing your mates, they can figure you out a bit more.
Yeah, I find it, one of the things I do find annoying on like multiplayer, as in when you're playing a friend in the same room, is that with bowling, if you press like in swing or out swing or top swing, it actually has an indicator to show which way you're facing.
Which way
you're selecting.
Yeah, exactly.
But I suppose online, the opposition isn't going to be able to see that.
Yeah.
I mean, most games these days aren't even built to be same room multiplayer. They're built for online and single player.
That's true.
Still, there's probably even a setting where you can turn off that display, like because it's like with us, it's probably the first time I've ever played that game, so it wanted to be a bit more tutorially, show you how to do it.
To be honest, I think it would be too hard to just do it all on purely reaction. I don't think there'd be enough time to pick the length and also the direction.
I'm more meant when that display comes up, you can just sort of do the controls without the other person knowing, but then the colours and stuff still happen like normal, like you're playing the computer.
Yeah,
something
that would
like that.
Be cool.
That's more I went.
I wouldn't be surprised if you turned it on, because we played on Pro, which is, I think, the medium.
Oh, you're saying I suck?
No, actually, you played your first game on Pro. We started on easy. So.
I thought I started on easy, didn't I? I swore it said
easy.
maybe
you changed it.
Okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was easy.
Oh, sorry to build you up and then break it down. No, I wouldn't be surprised if on Legendary it goes away or something like that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Any sort of final summary thoughts?
Alright, so can we all give it a rating out of 10?
I like that.
I'll start with you, Busher.
Alright, from the one game I played of it, it's probably arguably one of the best cricket games I've ever played. To be fair, I've only played like 2 or 3, so I'd say it's the best one, but I'd give it about 7.5.
What's a 10 though? Like FIFA?
I mean,
I
don't think there is such thing as a 10.
Yeah,
I've
never seen a 10 sports game.
FIFA's like probably a 9.3.
So we're talking like hardcore IMDb ratings?
Yeah,
alright.
So we're militant with that.
As far as you're going with a 7.5?
I'd give it a 7.5, yeah. That sort of ballpark.
Jesse?
I'd probably go 7.8.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty close to an 8 out of 10.
I was going to say a 7.9.
Cool.
But I think,
well, I've played the unpatched version, so you guys have the advantage of playing more stuff. That's probably why you're a little higher than I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I think
it's actually a good thing.
Like we said, the gameplay itself really good. Definitely could fix up a few non-gameplay issues like the menu.
Yeah.
And obviously, like I said, the licensing is going to be a problem for people that don't have access to the internet.
Which would be a minority, you'd think. But yeah, nonetheless. Yeah.
But no, overall, it's a fun game. It's a
I'll
really
probably
fun
go
game.
buy now. I'll probably go buy.
Really, that's cool.
It's a really fun.
If I ever have money, that's the key point there. But if I ever have enough cash, I'll probably go buy it.
I think it's a really great game to play against or with friends.
Yeah, it is good. Both against the computer and multiplayer. It's good for a 3rd edition as well. This is a pretty advanced game. Considering the resources Big Ant have, I think they have 45 people staff. At least they did, because they were talking on a few chat rooms like around the time they released AFL, and so I had a million other people had conversations with the CEO. He's a great dude. His name's Ross. We're really close. And anyway, my point is, compared to EA Canada, who work on, I think they do FIFA as well, but they do They do Cricket 07 as well, and I think they have employed like over 1,800 people.
Yeah, it's
and
big
think of
time.
the resources they have there, and cricket. Big Ants, cash in them quick. And, they're by far probably the best. They're probably the only quality Australian sports game developer that I'm aware of.
You have to give them props for them. They must have sunk so much money into like the customization.
Yeah.
In the last couple of years with this game with
it's so important.
The whole motion capture for players and like facial recognition. It was also in we saw in the recent AFL game.
Yeah. Where they probably spent too much on that and not enough on actually making the game.
But I think that's a massive selling point. I think a lot of people were excited to buy these games because of that.
The screenshots
the gameplay.
Yeah. The screenshot of Buddy Franklin hooking around on his left when that game was coming out was pretty good. You can understand why like a casual, semi-casual footy fan would be like, oh yeah.
I still reckon those games to a certain extent would sell themselves, so you'd want to emphasise the gameplay and stuff when you're budgeting how you're going to spend the game rather than the marketing side because those games probably to a large extent are going to sell themselves anyway.
I guess that's a good point. Yeah. I guess if you can have players looking like Buddy though, looking like Dusty, that's pretty cool for a casual fan.
You got to say though, the big players, there's been a fair bit of work put into their personalisation, but some of the low ranked players are
the fringe players.
Shockers.
Yeah, the fringe players.
I saw Ashton Agar on the game and I thought, who is this chick?
Oh, we're talking about cricket still, sorry.
Dude with a big ponytail.
I think it's deliberately randomised.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not meant to look like
so they don't get sued.
I saw they had the players with long hair still have long hair, so it feels like they've just literally spent
Didn't he have a
30
long
seconds.
ginger ponytail?
No, he had a long black ponytail.
Oh, did he? I thought he was ginger, Yeah, either way.
Yeah, so it feels like they've just been like, Agar, long hair, brown eyes, just do that. Yep, that's good enough.
Well, in the AFL game, they made random players black. I think Cockatoo was white, because, he's half Indigenous or fully Indigenous. His player was white, and there was, I can't remember who it was, but a random Eagles fringe player that was black, and it was like, okay. You could have Googled him.
Shannon Hearn or something.
No, the captain. Nah.
Yeah, fringe player.
Yeah. Nah. I just thought of something else that's actually kind of cool. When you play, there's a career mode, a pretty extensive career mode that we haven't really talked about because I haven't played too much of it. But what you do is you start off as one player. It's kind of like a be a pro mode. Yeah. Just talking cricket, if that got too complicated for our listeners.
Yeah.
You start off as like a district cricketer. And I nominated Australia and WA, and then it asked me which district team I want to play for, and it had a list of Melville, Bunbury, Geraldton.
Cool.
Admittedly, this is a completely unlicensed team, so they're just a colour. But they took the time to research which players. I had Subiaco in my league and stuff like that, which was pretty dope.
Yeah,
and
cool.
your player starts off at 30 out of 100, so you really got to grind to start out of that. But they've got it pretty down pat.
Yeah.
What do you guys think would be... Well, if you could take one feature out of NBA, for instance, Bush, what's your favourite aspect of NBA and what would you love to see that in a footy or cricket game?
Okay, footy, because it wouldn't really work for cricket, but I love the general manager type mode in NBA. It's really it's probably one of the better ones I've ever seen. It's really good, like the first round picks and all that stuff. You can the GM mode in AFL would be pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if there was dedicated, hardcore people. Like if someone like you who really loves the draft and stuff was really into that and went on there and made all the players in the draft, gave them the ratings and stuff.
I think particularly the draft side of things is probably they're still developing. I feel like the AFL's only really started marketing the draft really hard in the last few years. So I think it'll be a while before there's demand for...
This is even general management in general where you can do trades.
Yeah. Well, you can do that in the...
you can a bit, it wasn't bad in the last AFL.
It wasn't great.
It wasn't great, exactly. Yeah. And with the NBA one, it give certain players different star ratings and how they were. LeBron James is obviously a 5.
Yeah. Maybe I'm being uptight, but I reckon if you're going to have... when it comes to management and stuff, obviously you're dealing with a lot of menus and a lot of the interface and stuff. I feel like that... If your game's going to have a lot of that, you need it to be aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, the NBA one's pretty...
Yeah, exactly right. Whereas AFL Evolution obviously put no budget into their menus. I don't blame them. They're very gameplay focused, or should have been.
Yeah. Very functional.
Yeah, so I feel like that's another aspect of it. It's got to look good if I'm following to the menus all day. What about you, Joyce? What do you reckon about Because you're a big FIFA player.
From FIFA, I'd take Ultimate Team.
Yeah.
So the idea that you can kind of like build your Dream 11.
Yeah, that'd be pretty
and then
cool.
you can like verse other people online against their Dream 11.
Yeah. Cool.
I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, like cricket and footy even with the Ultimate Team and
Footy would be
freaking
cool.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
There is an element of that in the cricket game at the moment, but I don't think it's not like Ultimate Team. They're like cards.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy the players. I'm pretty sure you make them. I'm pretty sure you can edit them.
Yeah.
I haven't really played that much online yet. But so at least you can customize your teams. But that's a really cool idea. The concept of an ultimate team.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's a huge community, isn't it? That would be hard to build.
They've tried to do that in NBA 2K a bit, but I don't think it's caught on that well.
Interesting. I would have thought that would be really
Yeah, they've sort of done something like Ultimate Team, but it hasn't caught on, I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, EA are kind of scumbags a bit. Like they'll do anything to get $5 out of you. So it's always going to
look at the new Star Wars game. Case in point, that's already. I was at eBay the other day. It's already down to $50.
Yeah,
Battlefront 2.
I might get it.
Yeah, it's already down to $50. Yeah. The thing is, because you've got to buy that much DLC for it, they're going to get another 100, 150 out of your DLC.
I'd rather go back to the days where you just pay upfront $100 for the game,
and you get
and then that's like everything you have to buy.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh, we'll sell them the game for $70, but then we're not going to tell them, you have to spend like $100 or whatever to get like the season pass, and then you got to get like, if you want to make your team better, you got to buy all these packs.
The only instance I don't mind that's like the Grand Theft Autos where they just add stuff to the game, like where you get a real good base game, but then like I saw this one the other day, it's called some Doomsday Heist or something. I've seen ads for it. It looks really cool. It's like,
well, I mean, it is definitely, it's part of gaming now because they can update games after they've been released. So obviously, like,
that's important.
For stuff like that, it's fair enough that you're paying more money if they're releasing stuff to actually add to the game.
Yeah,
but
like if it's a whole new part of the world, like GTA, it's like...
But sort of the idea that, like, in the new Star Wars, you pay real-life money to get this chest, and this chest is, like, a random box of treasures, and, like, I think I saw, for someone who just started playing Battlefront, they spent to get heroes, you get these, like, these points. So you get these points from buying these loot crates. Someone had spent $250 and they were halfway to getting one hero on the game. So that's the amount of points they've accumulated from those loot boxes.
Jesus.
But apparently they've scrapped that now because obviously everyone was like, fuck this.
That's ridiculous.
So I heard something was like 40 hours of gameplay or own cash for like a hero. You have to play the game for 40 hours to unlock a hero or to pay for them. Something
else I read as well was a lot of people were having an issue with was apparently your player was invincible if he jumped for 0.5 seconds. So all of the firefights were just people jumping up and down and like shooting because they knew for half of the jump, like if they got shot, their health wouldn't go down. But I mean, like
that's my whole tactic in Halo.
We're talking about patches, so I'm sure that's been fixed up.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can stop being such cunts about it.
I think we should edit that out with a big Natanui or something like that. Or
every time we drop like a real big time swear word, like
a real big boy one.
It is a big. I feel like it's called.
We can say shit as much as we want. I feel shit's fair play.
Yeah, fair enough. What were we talking about? You know, this is probably unrealistic for me because as we were talking about, EA is very profit driven, at least with this game. But for me, I really wish they would go back to the sort of campaign-focused games, particularly how is it Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2 that everyone raves about because of their sick campaign mode?
Even the original Battlefront 2, I really love that campaign module, the 501st Legion. You're enough of a Star Wars nerd to know the 501st Legion.
I've never played it. The game.
You know what the 501st Legion is, wouldn't you?
Stormtroopers.
It's like the elite Legion of Stormtroopers was like Vader's personal legion.
Oh, okay.
It was pretty sick.
I do consider myself a nerd, and I'd heard that of them before, but I haven't.
There's like a big Star Wars fan group called the 501st Legion as well, based on that. It's like a real big thing.
I must say, my extended universe knowledge is pretty average. But But yeah, my point is like, how sick was it in Knights of the Old Republic? Have you played that?
I haven't played those actually.
Oh man, it's. I think I can spoil it because it's like what, like 15 years old.
Yeah.
But the basically you're a Jedi and you sort of like you don't know where you are. You're disoriented and people.
Is this the Galen Marek?
No.
What's the one with that?
That's the Ruckman from Richmond.
No. What's the one with the? Is this the one with the kid that's like his parents were Jedi's and then Vader abducts him and makes him an apprentice? Is this that?
No,
game?
that's
Star
that
Killer. That's Force Unleashed.
Exactly.
No, basically you have your mind wiped and you start off and you basically choose whether you go light or dark.
Yeah.
And you keep hearing about this guy called Darth Revan, and I think he's like a legend or something like that. This is a really terrible description, and I'm underselling it. But at the end of the film, at the end of the game, you realise that you're Darth Revan and you've had your mind wiped. It's one of those
Because I've heard of Revan. I know he was like he was Jedi and so he was.
Yeah.
I've heard of Revan.
Yeah, he's cool. He's in the Old Republic.
What's the MMO? Does the Star Wars MMO?
The Old Republic.
Is that the MMO that you're talking about?
No, I was talking about Knights of the Old Republic, which is why that's confusing. They're called almost the same.
Yeah, because I know there's that big. I tried to play that MMO a bit.
Yeah,
it was pretty good. I didn't mind it.
Yeah. No, it was good fun. It was a bit of a just run and do activities, and then come and collect.
Well, Star Wars points. World of Warcraft, basically.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I enjoyed it though because I was addictive. Yeah. It was addictive, and and it was my summer after high school, and I just got smashed into it. But it was really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I mean, I'm really into the Jedi side of Star Wars. Man, well, how did we get here? This is a massive tangent.
Yeah. Still, the movie's coming out. That's probably why we're thinking Star Wars. I'm keen.
The movie comes out.
I'm keen to see the remake of Empire Strikes Back. If it's anything like the Force Awakens.
That is a fair criticism. I'm really worried it's going to turn out like Empire Strikes Back.
Oh really?
I don't know. From what I've seen on the trailer, I'm optimistic.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because you haven't followed the background as much as you did, because you sort of knew what was going to happen in Force Awakens.
I knew Han Solo was, or at least that rumour broke like a year or two before the movie came out, and when it happened I was like, oh.
Yeah, if you know anything about this movie, please don't.
No, I don't. But I would worry about scrolling through your news feed. By the time this podcast airs, everyone will see the film. But I'm worried, because like last movie, Force Awakens, they had literally screenshots of Han Solo being like impaled. Yeah. And sorry if somebody hasn't seen it yet.
Imagine that.
It was saving, waiting for them all to come out so you can watch them on Blu-ray at home or something.
I'm watching a football podcast. How do we get to this?
Oh, we'll just edit in a bit before we start talking about Star Wars. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Jar Jar dies, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Jar
Actually,
Jar is Snoke.
He could still be, Yeah, I reckon some people were really taken in by that theory.
What, the Jar Jar was the like actual Dark Lord in the original?
I mean, Snoke looks like humanoid now. Like, or at least human.
I read a lot of people think Mace Windu.
He's white though.
I've heard that.
Yeah, but he's been fried, hasn't he? By lightning.
Hey man!
Fair call.
You'd get darker.
He'd been fried and thrown out a window.
Yeah, he does look like a bit Palpatine.
And he's all scarred and that.
Surely, if that was the direction they'd go to, they'd choose someone who wasn't like an old white man, though, you'd think.
What? Yeah, they'd choose Morgan Freeman or something.
It's true, though. You wouldn't. You'd pick someone at least a bit. Someone who wouldn't, like, if you saw that reveal, you wouldn't be like, what? No.
You are the Jedi.
I don't know if I want Snoke to be a reveal, actually. I don't know if I'd prefer him to be his own character or turn out to be someone.
I agree. I feel it's kind of cringy that sometimes they have to link everything to like previous movies. And
especially the Rey's Obi-Wan's daughter rumours.
I get what you're saying. I don't necessarily want like all the characters to be related or anything like that. But I do like some symmetry. So if you can have a plot twist, then it relates to something that even the prequels. I think that would be cool. For instance, Plagueis. I think like that would be cool.
I don't mind a relation to the movies, but I don't want to. I think it's kind of lame if like a character. And one of the main characters just turns out to be Snoke. I mean,
I'm worried they'll pull a Rey's Obi-Wan's daughter or some.
I'm pretty certain actually something like that.
I've heard that's a pretty strong rumor. That one.
I've heard an opposing theory which isn't bad, but I won't say it on here. But no,
they're all theories, mate. We're not spoiling it.
I think we should go in with an open mind. It's like
I'm very keen. I'm very keen because I've seen the trailer. Not too worried about it being too Empire Strikes Backy from what I've seen of this trailer.
Yeah.
Do you mean too many?
It looks like it'll
links?
be a
Do you mean
time
too many links at Empire Strikes Back?
No, like more like the same sort of plot,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
surfing
yeah.
on a desert
Yeah.
planet.
Yeah.
Like, the Force Awakens was
that
very
thing kind of
new,
pissed me off with
Force
well,
Awakens.
yeah, the Force Awakens. The fact that they were building another Death Star, whatever you
Yeah,
want
exactly.
to call
It's called Star Killer.
I remember in the
Star
movie,
Killer
I was
base.
like, I was like, oh my god, come on! Like,
Yeah.
is there not something else they
Yeah,
can come up with
a
apart
planet
from a
that's
giant
bigger.
round
Yeah.
spaceship gun?
Kills planets. Yeah.
How about a fucking three-pronged lightsaber or something?
I mean, the Force Awakens definitely
Very Jewish.
was not a flawless movie. There was a lot of plot flaws, but for me, Rogue One was probably the best Star Wars movie I've seen.
Yeah.
So
I watched it again the other night.
yeah,
I did like Rogue One. I really liked Episode 3, actually. I'm a big Revenge of the Sith
I think
fan.
a lot of people from our generation love
Yeah.
who actually like the prequels.
Yeah, I
love
like
Episode 3. But it's just like the old school fans who I think half the reason they hate the new ones is just because
Hayden
like-
Christensen's a whiny girl.
well no not cause, I was going to say because I think they have like nostalgic feelings like they remember seeing it when they were like 10 years old or 12 years old and
Yeah,
everything
feels
like
like-
that is so much better.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I was a
For
massive
us,
Yeah, like,
it's the
even-
same now. But
Yeah.
I've got a good comparison for that, actually. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Every person our age reckons it's the best Grand Theft Auto ever.
it was
Even
pretty
though
good.
I'd say gameplay and stuff, maybe 5 and stuff.
See, I remember movies that when I was a kid I loved them and I've got so many good like memories of them, but sometimes I'll look back and look at them now and be like, this is a fucking shit movie. How the
Yeah.
fuck did I like this?
Yeah. I still can watch them for nostalgic purposes.
Yeah.
I'm sentimental.
Yeah, I agree.
But you're right, if you're trying to analyse it, even...
Did you guys ever see the movie Road to El Dorado?
I did. I don't remember it that well.
I haven't seen it.
Isn't
Okay, that was one for me. When I was a kid, I loved it, and
Yeah.
I recently went back and watched it, and I was like, "This is a terrible movie. Like, I could barely get through it."
Really? Even for kids?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, I think kids would love it because they're not as
yeah.
critical as.
Yeah. So many plot.
They're not
Yeah.
assholes like adults.
Yeah, exactly. Probably why you enjoy it more as well, because you can just go with it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Wow.
Absolutely.
A pretty wide-ranging...
Yeah. We've pretty much just had a yarn for the people to watch.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah,
say.
this is gonna. I don't even know if this episode's gonna have a title. Is it? It's gonna
I've
be-
been thinking about a title, and I'm going to have to keep thinking about one because I have no idea. We have something clickbaity, so we can get a few more clicks.
True Footy podcast, general
Yeah.
shit talk.
I think this one will appeal to a few more people. I had a bit of feedback with the other ones being real too nerdy.
True Footy podcast, Mia Khalifa episode. That might get a few clicks.
Oh mate, have
Wait,
have
you
you
didn't
guys
kill
ever
the
seen?
roach. You didn't kill the roach. It's still there.
Oh fuck, I'll get you.
This cockroach has been with us for almost as long as we're doing the podcast.
He's been on more podcasts than
He
Louis.
fucking yeah.
I've been chasing him with a phone for the past month and a half every time I'm out here, but it's
Do you have to wear
eluded
that
state.
particular underwear or?
Oh mate, absolutely. G-bangers all the way, mate. Extra comfort.
Anyway, yeah. So I think this one will be a bit more interesting to the casual fan. We had to go a bit nerdy with the other ones, I think, because it was just
Yeah,
More
this one got
analytical.
pretty nerdy.
Analytical,
yeah. So
This
if
one got pretty nerdy.
it did, but different. I mean, more
Different
relatable
kind of
nerdy. We went very niche nerdy. This is
Yeah.
more mainstream nerdy. Like Star Wars isn't that nerdy.
Yeah.
Everyone's seen it, you know.
Oh.
There he is, little bastard.
I'll say I'm tempted to just... I've been gunning for him for
Yeah.
a while, so I'm tempted to go get the thong and just try and sort him out, even though we're in the middle of a podcast.
Does he pay rent?
Oh mate, I don't pay rent.
Well, on that note, we better let Busher go and destroy this roach. So,
Yeah, that's a euphemism.
cheers for tuning in, everyone, and we'll catch you.